Please confirm that you can see my screen and the slide I'm sharing.
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. All right, so this is to welcome everybody to today's session. And like you already know from the caption or the subject of this engagement today, is to really talk about business analysis, the opportunities within business analysis, the career prospects, and some trainings and next steps in terms of you either transitioning or going up the career ladder within business analysis practice. So first off, I think it's good to start with the introduction. I would say that you can just drop in the chat section of this Zoom. Let's know where you're coming from, your name, where you are on the globe, and let's also know if you've had any experience in business analysis domain, or you're trying to transition. Just so your name, where you are right now, and your experience, interaction within business analysis domain. So you can drop that in the chat. And yeah, we can get going. I mean, for myself, you can call me Damola. And like you can see on the screen, my name is Damola Folari. I would really summarize my career as a business analysis thought leader. At least that much I like to call myself. But yeah, I think I'm also doing something in that light and in that space. So yeah, I've been training since 2018. I'm a business analyst. I can call myself a senior business analyst right now. No bragging at all, because I've been doing this for a decade. I'm more into strategic business analysis right now. But again, I started my career of just transitioning and learning all the tools, all the concept and foundational precepts within business analysis space. I also have experience in Agile. I have certification in Agile, Scrum, Safe, that Scrum Agile certification. Yeah, I'm also with it, I also do a lot of stuff within the product management space or an enterprise architecture space. So I mean, I do a lot of stuff. Yeah, there, but all still related with business analysis. So you can follow me on LinkedIn. Damola Folari is my name on LinkedIn. You can follow me, and then yeah, you can sort of get the conversation going there. All right. Like I said, just drop in the chat section. Where you are, your name, where you're joining from, and have you had any interaction with business analysis? Are you transitioning right now? Are you a practicing BA? Are you just learning, the foundational concepts? And are you? I mean, just let's meet you, let's know you, so that I can tailor the conversation appropriately also. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Damola. And John is here as well. So John Oji would
hi, John.
Take over when you're done with the questions.
Okay, so I don't know. People have also started dropping chat. Let's meet you. We're still like really at the introduction phase right now. Let's do this quickly. Let's know where you're joining from, your name and your interaction with business analysis domain.
Can you hear me, Damola?
Hey, hi, John.
Oh, hi. Sorry for joining late. I had a bit of connection issues. I'll just maybe run through a bit of an introduction from my end, if you don't mind. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. So, yes, before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to introduce BNet Learning to participants. BNet Learning is a world-class learning platform that provides relevant knowledge to help professionals thrive in the highly competitive human capital market. So our expert-led classes cover several certification courses such as the CBAP, PMP, SMC, SPOC, also as well as hands-on courses like data analysis, Agile, BA hands-on, WordPress website development training, hands-on tools training, that is Jira and Confluence, and also Lean Six Sigma suite of courses. So at Binet Learning, we believe in monitoring and coaching individuals to ensure their success in their.
John, I'm not sure if it's me. I think we lost your audio. Can you hear me, John?
Damola, we can hear you. I think we lost John. So I think you should continue.
Okay. Okay. Zainab, so I think what John was saying, John was just talking about our portfolio of courses, and it said pretty much said, beyond business analysis, we have courses at Binet Learning. We have courses in product management, project management, Scrum Master. We do quite a lot of we have quite a lot of training courses within our portfolio, and I'm sure that we'll drop our social media links where you can engage more with us, and get to also enroll or just get some form of mentoring and more like advisory from us in terms of what the next steps might be, even beyond business analysis. Welcome, Zainab. See you from Lagos, Nigeria. It's only Zainab that we've gotten introduction from. I see some other people on the call. Let's know you, let's meet you before we kickstart. See that Zainab is transitioning. Zainab, you're welcome. I'm sure this would help you transition in a very smooth and swift way. Okay, so I think we can start while we wait for others to, just do their introductions, and and if you have any questions also, you can drop it in the chat as we proceed. At some point, I'll pause and attend to them. So I would take it that a lot of us right now on this call are somewhat transitioning, and if by extension, some persons might also have started their career off in business analysis, but you are just going up the ladder, and you still want to understand what are the best next steps for you to progress along the practice. So I'll just really kick off with what is business analysis to start with. Yeah, Mary, I see you. And there are a lot of definition of what business analysis is. A lot of time people don't talk about what it is not, but I would just really like to start off with what business analysis is. It says here, business is the practice of enabling change in organizational context by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. I would summarize it by saying that business analysis is about adding value. It's about value addition, value definition, value addition. Yeah, so really what you would see in most cases is that organizations need business analysts to make sense of their business need and be a form of liaison between the business stakeholders and the implementation end of the organization. understanding business requirements, understanding, stakeholder requirements, and transitioning that whereby, solution requirements can be understood and value can be added to the enterprise. It's not one size fits all when it comes to business analysis definition. But what you see also is that as the domain and field continues to expand, you start to see business analysts play in some other roles, and therefore that definition can now be somewhat extended or sometimes even misplaced, right? Where a business analyst that is playing some form of product ownership or product management role now starts to define business analysis as a product, a product management or a product role. So that much we've seen. But again, it's good to also mention that as you're transitioning to business analysis, or as you're trying to step up within the practice, there are a lot of opportunities that diverse related domain that you can easily shift into while on your trajectory or in that business analysis career. So it's a very wonderful space to play. I myself, like I said at the beginning, I've been a product manager. I've acted as a project manager. In some cases, I've acted as an agile coach, and I've done all that, within my career journey while still being a business analyst, right? So you would see here that as a business analyst, there's some other common title or some other common opportunities. If I can say that you're somewhat open to you. As a business analyst, you can, decide to go in the way of process and you become a process analyst. You can definitely play within the product management space. You can decide to be more focused on system and technology and become a system analyst. You can be more focused on customer pain points, rationalizing customers' requirements and ensuring that customers are satisfied. Therefore, you'll be playing more in the customer experience analysis space. Some other BAs are more focused on just requirements and at the broad level, whether technology requirements, whether requirement for merger and acquisition, whether business requirements, then you can be a requirement analyst. Some other BAs are also focused on business. They are more of a business consulting, bias. So they play their roles within the business consulting space, and you can easily call them business development analysts or business architects. Some of our BAs are also more concerned on data and trying to make sense by ensuring that data is more refined. Data is insights required are generated from data for optimal business decision making, for let's say sense making and sense giving. So you see that in that case, you be a business intelligence analyst. Some of that BAs are also focused at the enterprise level, very strategic. Then you say that you can easily go into the enterprise analysis space. And some of that BAs, just like the process analyst, are also more focused on process, but from an improvement, continuous improvement point of view, where they're not just focused on what the process is, but how can we make it better? And therefore, you can really, wear the heart of a continuous improvement analyst. And it goes on, right? There's some BAs today that we're seeing people who they call decision analysts. There's some very interesting roles coming up, per day. Just to tell you that the opportunities are, somewhat endless, and I think that, it's a good move that you've decided to transition into this space. Okay, so I see NJ says, please explain process analysis. So when you talk about process analysis, it's more about focusing on process, right? You know that an organization is usually guided by people, process, and systems, if I want to limit it to those three artifacts. Processes are usually, the way or manner at which businesses achieve outcomes, right? And some BAs are more focused on process from the point of process optimization, looking at processes and trying to improve process and optimize process. I don't want to go too technical, but if that space or that domain really interests you, I mean, you can, engage us more. I would say that you can also read up about the process analysis, read up about value stream mapping, about some tools, techniques that BAs within that space use. That pretty much is process analysis. And we have BAs playing within that role. Again, a very short story here, and I'll make it very brief to manage time, effectively. So you can see this elephant here, and then these are 7 blind men. And because they are blind, they can't see. However, they are interacting with the elephant through touch, through their hands, and they are describing the elephant from their own touch points. So the guy holding the nose here is saying this is a big snake because it looks long, and the other blind man holding the leg is saying no, this is actually a tree stump. The other guy holding the big flap air is saying it is a sheet of leather, right? And this other guy holding the tail is saying it's actually like a little furry mouse. And that's what business analysis is. So going back to this conversation, there are BAs that are playing within the customer experience space, and they are very biased towards that. And they're going to be telling you how they've used their BA tools, their BA skills and competencies to somewhat better the position of the customer, to ensure that the customer is satisfied and customer issues are resolved. And some of that BA that are very technology focused and biased, that are playing as system analysts, will be using the same tools, techniques, competencies, capabilities, to understand requirement for system and technology, solutions and how to improve that. But again, it doesn't mean that they are not BAs, but they are BAs playing within different spaces. But they're going to have somewhat different definition of what their practice is, and that's really what this story really illustrates. So just summarizing it here, business analysis requires multiple perspective for holistic understanding. Again, this just really tells you that this is a space where you cannot be bored. You cannot be bored. There are lots of opportunities and a lot of various domains and practices that you can move into. And it's a good thing for people transitioning. And for the guys already playing within this space, I'm sure that you need no introductions. You would see that what is common in most organizations and most business analysis practice today is that you hardly can wear one hat, right? You hardly can just come and say, I'm a business analyst and this is what I'm doing. A lot of time, you're either required to wear multiple hats or you're even taken out to play certain roles and then you revert back to your business analysis. So it's very broad, very divergent, and the opportunities are definitely endless. Again, saying all this to bring the story home, what is business analysis? So from conversations that we've had now, you will know that it's a very broad-based domain or practice, having discipline across different space and opportunities. It says here that identification and articulation of needs, problem, and opportunity across different enterprise layers. So like I said, business analysts are supposed to understand business need from a business requirement, business vision, business strategy point of view, sometimes stakeholders point of view, in order to be able to ensure that business values or value is added to the organization at the end of the day, right? Outcomes are achieved, be it technology outcome, depending on what you're playing, be it resolving a customer's issue, be it trying to provide some form of vision clarification for an enterprise, playing at the business enterprise or business architect point of view. At the end of the day, business is about adding value. Don't forget that. The very short, distinct definition of business analysis that you can take away today is that business analysis is in the business of adding value to organizations. And we can take divergent approach to ensure that value is added. Not to really gloss so much over this, what you will find out is that when you take all those divergent roles that I've mentioned or that we've seen, you would see that you can really compress them into, are you playing within the strategic space as a BA? Are you playing in a more operational space, or are you playing in a more tactical space? And then you can see how, you know, the distinctions have been laid out. When you are, if you are interested in going into a more strategic, you know, domain, as you transition into business analysis, you can start to consider management consulting, product innovation, enterprise analysis, market research, business intelligence, product management. You know, now while these listings can be roles, sometimes it can also be activities that BAs perform. So, for example, if you're a BA and you find yourself in a space that is heavily biased towards product management, definitely you'll be doing a lot of market research, maybe doing some form of product innovation, doing some form of you know, consulting also, maybe or maybe not. If you're a BA and you find yourself within a data bias space, definitely you'll be doing a lot with business intelligence. Yeah, and if you're a BA and you find yourself, you know, at that, you know, more strategic enterprise, you know, biased place, you might be doing a lot of enterprise type analysis, you know, and some strategic planning and all that. Now, if you look at the tactical side, which is more of focusing on mid-term goals or aspiration of an organization, you can see yourself as an IT business analysis, where you're looking at IT project, IT product and initiative, trying to understand requirements for that, using different, you know, approaches to elicit requirements, document requirements, you know, visualize your requirements, and you know, deliver solutions. Again, decision analysis, like I said, business rule analysis. So again, like I said, this can be activities that you would be performing, you know, more often. Sometimes it can be a role also that is being carved out and defined, you know, for you to play in. You can be a user experience analyst, you can be a product manager. And then if you're into more operational, you know, side of things, or you're more interested in ensuring that you are engaged and involved in operational analysis, then process analysis comes back. Product support, if the customer support analysis you saw there, would definitely find a space within the operational analysis space, continuous improvement, operational analysis. So yes, sometimes as a BA, you are also playing across this divergent spectrums, where though you are a strategic BA doing strategic stuff, sometimes you might be required to do some or perform some activities, you know, that are quite tactical or even operational, while even trying to deliver on your strategic, you know, outcomes. So this is still bringing the conversation home. You know, again, I'd say that we've defined business analysis as a broad-based, you know, domain and practice. So you can be a generalist, you can be a specialist, you can actually be an hybrid where you're playing, you know, between those two broad or two polarized spectrum, not generalist, not specialist, but, you know, playing, you know, between both spaces. So if you look at this, it can be a generalist as a BA where you're wearing a lot of hats, and you're a business consultant, you're a business relationship manager, you're a management, playing some role within the management consulting space. You can be a specialist where maybe you're playing within an agile space, or you are working more closely with requirements, looking at business rules, working with systems, you know. And you can see that when you look at this specialist column, you will see that these are BA roles that are definitely very defined. So data analyst, for example, a product owner, you know, owning product and ensuring that, you know, outcomes and improvements are delivered on the product. We have service request analyst, system analyst. So these are focused from a project process point of view. Again, if you take a department business function transition point of view, you can see what it looks like from a practice point of view: business analyst, business intelligence analyst, business domain expert, product manager, focused on marketing, functional business analyst. I mean, if there's nothing you're going to take away today, is to tell you that the domain is very broad, the business analysis domain, and you can make of it what you want. You know, I've seen people come in as business analysts, become project managers, become product managers, become product owners, become agile coach, and go back into consulting, business consulting, and they are using all the skills, capabilities, competencies that they've picked up at BA, and they are performing very spectacularly across those, you know, career spectrum. So it's broad. I think it's a good thing you've done by, you know, transitioning or thinking to transition. And for those that are already within the career spectrum, know that the opportunities are broad, and there's definitely a career, you know, path, you know, where you can start as a BA, for example, working on project, working on requirements, and you become a product manager, or you become a solution architect, or you become a system architect, or you become an enterprise architect, and you can, you know, from there become, you know, a CIO, CXO, CTO, so because a lot of people, you know, really struggle with, is there a career path in business analysis? Who does the business analysis become after business analysis? So I think it's very clear, and those are some of the conversations we're going to be having going forward. I don't know if you have questions. If you have questions, please post it on the chat section, and I will be happy to attend to them. So talking about the career path, which I just somewhat talked about now, I like this evolution visualization from IBA. IBA, by the way, is the International Institute of Business Analysis, which sort of governs the practice of business analysis globally, right? And yeah, they had sort of supported this conversation we're having with this visualization, and they're just really letting us know that business analysis is a broad spectrum again, and you can make out of this practice what you want, right? So you can see how the core domain of business analysis can transition into product management, can transition into business process management. So you can see the business focus side, and you can see the technology biased or technology focused side. And if you wanted to be more focused on business, because maybe your long-term goal is to become a business consultant, you know, and you want to tailor your career, you know, appropriately. These are all the various options available. You can be a BA playing everything within the agile space, where you are a business technologist, you are an RTE, release training engineer, Scrum Master, product owner. You want to play more within the customer experience space. You are looking at, you know, a customer relationship management BA. You're playing heavily within the quality assurance, quality management space. You're playing within the relationship management space. You want to play within the product innovation space. So you can see your design thinking, and you can see the different, you know, nodes that lead to that business architect, strategist. And if you want to be more technology focused, because that's what you're looking at long-term, short-term, you can see the different domains here: business data analytics, business intelligence, machine learning, infrastructure, where you're looking at cloud, software as a service, application management, and all that. Yeah, so again, bringing it home, the opportunities are divergent. They are very, very, very much available. It's very fluid. It's one practice where you can be quite fluid and make of it what you want to achieve. So I haven't talked about the distinction and the paths that the career of a BA can take. It's also good to look at how do you skill or upskill yourself or set up yourself for success, because that's pretty much the conversation that brings this home. I've only heard about all this. People are thinking, what are the next steps? How can I, put myself in the light, where I can amass a lot of opportunities as I transition, for example. For people transitioning, maybe some of the biggest challenges, how do I get that next opportunity? How can I get potential employers to take a bet on me and give me that job, land that job opportunity or get that role so that I can start to spread my net wide and become what I want to become. So this slide, I just really put some form of, I would say, stepwise, approach to you getting to that point where you can start to take on these opportunities, make it real, and start to climb up the career ladder and achieve all what you want to achieve. So again, typically to start with desire, where you're probably researching, exploring, and that's what I would say that's probably what brought you here today. You saw, that Binet Learning has an information session. You saw that it was about business analysis, something you've been thinking about. Now you are here. I think what you might need to do also is to refine that desire, because now you're very interested. Everything you're hearing sounds interesting, somewhat, confirming all what you wanted to do. So you have a desire, but I would say research more, explore more, so that you can get to that point where you can take a decision and be very sure and validate that this is really what I want to do. After this, I think the next step or the most logical step is to start, getting some form of actual learning and accumulation of knowledge for you to, one, be confident about, the practice, learn about what the fundamental, concepts and the foundational knowledge required, to be a BA is. So that would lead you to some form of certification that would also spotlight your career very well, right? Because you know that landing a job is really a competition, right? And it gets stiffer by the day. So you need to get to that point where you're able to prove to potential employers that you know what you're doing because you've amassed and acquired knowledge, and you have a certification that sets you apart from the crowd. Now, it doesn't stop there. When you get certified, definitely that spotlights your profile. You go put it on LinkedIn, people are bossing you. So that pretty much will put you in the door. How do you harness the opportunity beyond getting into the door where, yes, they can see you, you're certified. How do you actually land an opportunity? A lot of times you might need to, take some form of hands-on and skills development and type training where you're able to prove to potential employers again that you're not just certified, but you have some form of hands-on skill with tools, tools and techniques that are required. And that's something we do very, very well at Binet. We have the certification-led training, which is a boot camp style. We also have a very tailored hands-on type training that can, amass you and make you more comfortable with the tools that BAs use globally, and then you can start to, harness those opportunities from a global perspective. Introductory work experience. One of the things that you should also start looking at is what are the ways that I can, somewhat, break the ceiling and ensure that I extend, the hands-on skills that I have, and that's somewhat getting some form of work experience, either by volunteering, by taking up internship opportunities, and all that. And that's something that, a lot of people reach out to me for, and I tell them, just look around. There are a lot of things happening around you, but if your mind is not stayed on it, you don't see it. Yes, and people have come back to say that those opportunities they later took and helped them. You have families, there are events happening. You can start to apply what you've learned, in business analysis to manage some of those events. There are things happening within some communities that you belong. your church, try to, take those opportunities, volunteer as much as possible. And when there's an advantage, or when there's an opportunity rather for internship, try to take those advantages and just ramp up your know-how and your application of the skills that you've learned. Then there's a part of also preparing your resume and ensuring that your profile is well tailored and distinct enough for you to be able to stand out from the crowd and definitely take those advantages and opportunities that they come your way. So again, a lot of people struggle with tailoring their CVs, resume. Some people have played the roles and experience that they've had in their career has had different touch points with business analysis. Like now, that it's very broad. You could have been a customer service agent, for example, but that there's a customer service analyst and that you are doing some form of analysis every time you're engaging the customer, right? You might be someone that have maybe been working on projects as project stakeholders or as a domain subject matter expert, just providing support to project. But again, there's some form of story and narrative there that tells you that you've been doing something related to business analysis. How you, shape and, modify and specify those narratives within your CV so that potential employers can see that some of these skills and competencies that they want, you already have it, is what we're talking about here when we mention CV preparation, networking, job search. And again, I would say that as you definitely take all these steps by, confirming and validating your desire, learning and, learning the concept about the practice, taking hands-on training, volunteering, taking internship, you need to also start to reflect that in your profile, whether be it on LinkedIn, be it on your resume. You need to start to look for where the opportunities are, like go to Indeed.com, different job search platform, go register your profile, put in your CV, and start to put yourself in line for those opportunities to come straight to you. And then there's a space of continuous growth. I mean, for me, like I said, I've been had a decade of practice within the space, but definitely there's always opportunity for growth. There's opportunity for competency development. It never stops. So that's one thing that would definitely be the next step. Now that you've had your leg in, you settled, you're in a place where you are now in, you've amassed the opportunity, you need to continue to sort of look for ways to advance what you know and for you to be able to climb up to the career ladder. I don't know if there are questions. Are there questions at this point? Okay. I want a question, John, just point my attention to it. So again, this just confirms what we said now, BWA knowledge, unearth the experiences, identify your leverage point, where is your heart at? What can you do easily as you move into the career? So you start to know where you should be. Are you someone that is very, very prone to technology type, activities, implementation, initiative, or are you usually very happy to lead business type initiative and all that? All right. So this conversation would never have been complete if we don't now talk about certifications that you can start to take, and you can start to make yourself distinct and put yourself in the spotlight for potential employers and for opportunities that might come your way. So IIBA, like I said, is the International Institute of Business Analysis. There's a stratification to the certification levels. There's the ECBA for professionals or young school leavers actually with no experience, or people who are also transitioning, basically, where you are coming from a domain that is very, very novel to business analysis. The ECBA is definitely recommended. Is the entry certification in business analysis. And then the second step is, okay, you're heading in, you have 2 to 3 years experience. You have the CCBA, which is certification capability in business analysis. And if you've been practicing business analysis for 5 years plus, definitely you can take the CBAP, which is the Certified Business Analysis Professional. Now, a point to note, these certifications we provide, we train people. Like I said, we have a bootcamp style that will take professionals through to write the exams and be able to achieve those big goals, right? So yes, this pretty much you can engage us on if you're interested. I think I'll just start to round up here so that we can have some time for questions. So just to show us a bit of numbers. So this IIBA report in 2021, and it was saying that business analysis professional who holds CBAP certification earn 26 more than their non-certified professionals. So they are saying there are some BAs that have not been certified, but the professionals within the practice that decide to get certified definitely earn more. They are valued more by their employers than the ones that do not. It says here also 76% of business analysis professional practice agile approaches. So it's also telling you that if you're playing within the BA space, definitely you should be looking at amassing some agile skills and capabilities. Yeah. And it also says here, 65% of business analysis professional report being involved in digital initiatives. All right, so I see some questions here. Say, do you offer CV revamp to suit BA field? So we have a community called Growth Council, and part of what we extend to our community members is mentorship, which can include reviewing your CVs. Do you have volunteering and internship? So because we also work with corporate, we train for corporate, sometimes we're able to get those opportunities firsthand and extend it to our community members. But again, you can engage us more on how to be a part of the community and all that. Yeah, this is enough. So I said, hello, Damola. Does Business help with hands-on skills and internship? Yeah, so definitely we have courses or suite of courses that are tailored towards hands-on skills. We definitely pretty much have that. And like I said earlier, we can also definitely network and connect you to leadership where there's an opportunity for that. Sometimes a lot of corporates trust us and they reach out to us when we have candidates for openings that they may have. And because we have people within our community that we have trained or that have taken our courses that we trust them, we can actually refer them accordingly. All right, so I'll just keep this because this talks to what I've said before. So again, just to have some sort of notes and to balance the conversation properly, certification is not the destination. What we are preaching at BNet Learning is how to build your competency and spotlight your profile, your career, so that you can stand out and gain relevance experience, right? Because certification is just a journey, it's not a destination. Yes, we advise that you get certified, but we're not saying it's a destination. It is not an end point, in terms of a goal perspective, is to build your competency, build your confidence, spotlight your profile, and get all the opportunities that you deserve, and grow in your career. Okay, someone says, talk more about your CBAP preparation bootcamp. So, if you need more information, definitely you can send us an email. This is just an information session to let you know the opportunities from a business analysis career perspective. But we can definitely get the conversation going and reach out to us, and yes, we're able to give you much more details and information that can help you. So this is business analysis competency model wheel from IIBA, where you have the 6 knowledge areas as the first line of boundary, starting from BAPM, business analysis, plan and monitoring, education and collaboration, requirement lifecycle management, strategy analysis, requirement analysis and design definition. social evaluation. So we'll not go much into this now. When you come into the bootcamp or you come for any of our business analysis type training, we're able to do a lot of deep dive, in-depth conversation on all this. But yes, this pretty much is a framework for the certification for the book of knowledge that IIBA, has specified. Same for this. These are proficiency scale, competency model for business analysis, as again recommended and provided by IIBA. Again, this really visualizes the framework for some of the conversation we're going to be having when you come for the bootcamp and all that. Again, a bit of the numbers. I think I've spoken to some of these numbers. Definitely, this IBA just releasing some statistics around the opportunities that BAs have, within the corporate space, right? So change all the opportunities that BAs have amassed in 2021 going to 2022 at different level. Like I told you, business analysis definitely is a career spectrum. So you can see that CEOs, executive, president, owners, 3%, like that. You can see the numbers. VPs, senior VPs, managers, 30%, entry level. So yeah, opportunities are there. I think I will just keep through all of this and just give us a bit of insight into our training at BNet. So again, we have a 48-hour bootcamp training that focuses on the BABOK. The BABOK, by the way, is Business Analyst Book of Knowledge. Typically, our trainings are virtual, and we typically deploy them on weekends, Saturdays, Sundays. You can definitely get more information as you engage with us. We have study groups that also help people after they've attended the bootcamp, they need some form of hand-holding support. We have that structure and platform to help, just give them the right confidence, revision required, time commitment required to writing the exam and succeeding on the exam. And then, yes, like I said, we have mentoring. We also have hands-on training that we deploy to our community, members of our community. And then a lot of time we have some type of one-on-one also, where we try to understand what your needs are, what your pain points are, help people through, just prepare them through interviews or have engagement on different tasks and deliverables they might have, so that they can, deliver appropriately also. Yeah. So I think at this point, we'll just talk about the timelines and then round off. So this typically shows a journey map in terms of what it takes to launch that action towards becoming certified. So like this is an information session now. And then we can also sometimes have one-on-one as you reach out to us. And then we have a pre-bootcamp session usually that we are assigned to some faculty members for coaching and learning so that I can ramp up your foundational knowledge or preparatory knowledge towards the bootcamp, so that when you come to the bootcamp, you're not hearing some of the techniques and some of the technical jargons or some of the technical concepts the first time, so that's why we have the pre-bootcamp learning. Then we have the certification bootcamp itself that runs for 6 weekends. And then we have study groups that also run between 5 to 10 weekends, depending. And then we have the hands-on training. And you can see that it's a bit sequenced, where you attend information sessions like this, or you have a one-on-one, you're going to put bootcamp coaching, then you go into the bootcamp certification training itself, which is very core. And then you might decide to join a study group or have a mentoring engagement towards writing the exam, preparing for the exam. And then at some point, maybe you've landed a job, or you think that you need some form of hands-on with the tools and technique required for BAs to perform their tasks at any place in the world. Yes, you can also join our hands-on training. And when you take these actions now, definitely your transition will be very easy. And in no time, you will start to spotlight your profile, for that opportunity that will be coming, your way soonest. So on that note, I think, yeah, we're done here. What's the time now? Yeah. If there are any questions, just post it here and I'll be glad to attend to you. Oh, someone says 48 hours for barber preview. Is that sufficient to get? Yes, that's sufficient. And John, can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry, I just have a bit of announcement to make before you round
off.
So
let me respond to this question before you go ahead. Now, what you need actually to be able to write the exam, I think, is 40 hours of engagement, classroom engagement with an EEP. EEP is an endorsed educational provider. So we are definitely a premier endorsed education provider by IBA. But yes, we have planned out our boot camps to give you more than what is required, because at some point you will need to show to IBA, during your application, that you've actually had 40 hours of engagement at least for the bootcamp. So yeah, we're able to cover the BABOK within those 48 hours very efficiently, and prepare you for the exam. Okay, John, you can go ahead. No, John, I can't hear you. Your audio. Check your audio. If you can hear me.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes, a loud and clear now.
Okay, yeah. So I just say thank you to everybody for attending. We hope you found the presentations by our facilitator here very insightful and helpful. Before we end the session, also to say that our next bootcamp is starting on the 20th of May. That's the upcoming CBAP bootcamp for business analysis is starting on the 20th of May, and this will be the best time for you to actually, register, because we starting after the bootcamp after this one, there would be like an upward review in price. So this is like the last bootcamp at the current rate. So take advantage of this opportunity while you actually can. If you have any questions or inquiries, you can fill in the form posted in the comments. There's a form I dropped in the comment section. So if you are interested in registering for this bootcamp, or you want more questions to be answered, just kindly fill the form and your information and everything, and we'll definitely reach out to you. Yeah, so I think we just want to thank and also follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I've posted some links in the comments, so you can just click on them and follow us to stay updated on our latest offerings and events. I'd like to thank Mr. Damola Folarin for sharing, his insights with us. It was a pleasure having you as our speaker. I thank you all for attending today's session. Your participation and engagements made it all a success for us. So once again, if you have any more further questions or you need more information about our services, visit our website at www.binetlearning.com or contact us through any of the social media platforms. So thank you all for joining today, and hopefully we see you all at our future events. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.